Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
Hey everyone, I am Jason Ward, and this is Rob at Sketchcraft with a scratchy beard. And look who's coming
sidekick.
just
Stick
in
round.
time, way down low. It's Jesse. How's it going, Jesse?
What's up, Jesse? How you doing?
Oh, good. I'm a little tired because, well, I work the midnight shift. So,
Shit.
24/7 now at the docks.
pretty much, yeah, dude. Here, we had continuous concrete. It's actually the concrete dust that you mix with it. So,
And then
ship full of that stuff.
And coincidentally, it's shrinking him down like a Oompa Loompa. He's very tiny now.
The closest thing to concrete I've ever made was when my friend worked at Taco Bell and I decided to go hang out with him one night. I didn't work there, but he let me in and I helped him make the beans. And it was like this sack that we had to pour into. I was like, I'm making the beans. Yeah.
You're all doing it.
Right.
You're all, I am a Latino American.
Look, if you're going to get fake Mexican food, you want to see a fake, What's up? Hey, welcome to Taco Bell. Can I take your order, please?
Hey, could I take your L order, bro?
Welcome to Good Taco. Can I get you a taco?
Oh no, you good burgered us late at night for you, early in the morning for us.
Jason, I have to really crouch between these icons now. Like,
yeah, you are.
If my ego gets any bigger, I won't fit in the show right here.
Hold on. I'm going to use the force. Here I go. Bum, 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 bum,
Are you going to use some kind of strange brew?
Bum, 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 bum. I did it.
You just DMCA'd the cast. Congrats.
Right? Good morning, Meg. Or good evening, Meg. How's it going?
Meg.
Oh, we were talking yesterday, and I'm going to make some like ominous synth music that's like really low, like almost guttural. And whenever you and Rob like start your like tiff, I'm going to start playing the ominous synth music in the background. I'm just going to like cue it up. It's going to be good.
I don't have tiff with nihilists.
Right.
Right. I'll roll on Saturday. I'll roll on Thursday. I don't give a.
So today I took one sick child to his mother and I said, "Here, sick child, stay with your mother today." And then I took the healthy child to school because apparently you're supposed to. I found that weird. I did.
Kind of frown on the other one staying home too.
Yeah, they were like, "No, she has to come." I was like, "Okay," but it doesn't.
I have some interesting Star Wars news that isn't that interesting.
Oh yeah.
They have released a Star Wars book that I'm going to actually spend all 12 hours listening to, starting tonight. Can you believe it?
Is it like a Max Rebo biopic in text form?
Nope. It's called Star Wars Ronin. It's based off the first animation in the Star Wars Visions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Jedhu Kai. So are you guys familiar with the podcast Star Wars 7x7?
I know of it.
Daily Star Wars podcast, like 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
For the past few days, he's been going through like this book and the Kurosawa, influence on Lucas. But really, the genre of movie that Kurosawa works in is like something like Jedhu Kai, something like that, right? And it's this period of samurai films set in the Edo period during a militaristic
which
government,
sounds badass, but it was probably like Napoleon Dynamite in reality.
And it was set so far in the past that no one could actually verify whether it was historically accurate or not, so they can kind of get away with it's real, not real kind of thing. But he mentioned the book, and I was like, wow, that Jedhu Kai sounds a lot like Jedi, right? Like sounds a lot like it. But it's a fun little quick dive into that stuff. But I did listen to like the sample and Audible for the book, and I love it, man. Like it is out of canon.
Yeah.
So
out of the canon.
So when you go to like Amazon or Audible, you'll see this like 3.5 star. It's the canon motherfuckers. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like it's just
Nietzsche
is
canon.
The Old Republic books are better. I don't know why they're doing this. And I'm like,
you're serious enough.
Fuck your canon, man. Like I told you, they'll let it go. They have to let this go. Not everything can be canon. Like it needs to stop.
I don't know. It's canon to me. So I drove down to the Mandalorian set, did my due diligence, was shadowed by men in vans. I was taking left turns when they thought I was taking right turns. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm fucking around right now? I've never been more serious in my life. But I got the video, and the video is not very interesting, but it just shows you exactly what was going on today. And it answers the question, they filming? So if you guys want to talk during the video, you guys have to hit your little mic button, guys. All right, here we go. So as you can see, they filming. If you've been asking yourself, they filming? I can tell you guys, they filming.
They filming. There was a
picture
of
craft services. What's for lunch? So there we go.
Jaren in helmet.
He's all, my name is actually Din Darren, and I'm Din Djarin's brother, that long lost brother you guys didn't know about. And I'm in season 3 Mandalorian. I'm going to be a spin-off, and you can read all about it on the hashtag show. So yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, the deets basically. Did I see Grief Karga? Of course I did. He said hi. Did I see Antonio Banderas from the Indiana Jones 4 set? Yeah, he was there. I said hi. No, actually, they were filming, but it didn't appear that they were filming anything super, huge or whatever. And whatever they were filming, I don't even think they were doing audio for, based on what I could see. So I think it's probably the second unit work for the shots that are about to take place there. You know what I'm saying? Like when they whatever,
Frank Marshall's all over that, right?
Frank Marshall's there. He just
shots and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so what I think is going on is to the right of the set, not as far right as the craft services table, not that far. The place where the people serve the food to the people who can shit and piss and eat, but not the people who work there. Those people, but they weren't really doing very much today. But they are filming on the exterior sets now. So Mando 3 is officially happening, and they are getting something done. But there was a thing that I wanted to, not to go into the whole thing necessarily again. It's not like there's a lot going on outside of what I got today, but I think that strike's going to happen, you guys. I really do. And
are you saying Amazon won't kowtow to unions? What are the odds?
It isn't so.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, obviously, and I hope that everybody gets what they deserve or what they should have, in terms of a normal working environment. But yeah, yesterday the IA Solidarity Twitter tweeted out, breaking: unless an agreement is reached, IATSE film and TV workers will begin a nationwide strike on October 18th at 12:01 a.m. PDT. So, yeah, and that's 60,000 film and television workers. So, yeah, International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees International President Matthew Loeb announced today that unless an agreement is reached, union members will begin a nationwide strike. Basically, I just read. Loeb said the union will continue bargaining with the producers this week in the hopes of reaching an agreement that addresses core issues such as reasonable rest periods, meal breaks, and a living wage for those on the bottom of the wage scale. However, and then the quote is, however, the pace of bargaining doesn't reflect any sense of urgency, Loeb said. Without an end date, we could keep talking forever. Our members deserve to have their basic needs addressed now. Last week, IATSE members who work in television and film production at 36 IATSE local unions across the country voted to authorize the union's international president to call a strike if contract talks didn't result in a new contract for 60,000 film and television workers. Voter turnout was over 90%, with 98.6% of those voting in support of authorizing a strike. And then there's the countdown clock. And as of right now, that's what you got to come to your senses.
They need to get one of those projectors, and just project it onto like all the Amazon warehouses. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
outside.
Yeah.
The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, full name International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, Moving Picture Technicians, Artists, and Allied Crafts of the United States, its territories, and Canada. What kind of union meeting happened to make that? If they can make that name happen, they can make this one happen. I believe in them. So anyways, yeah. So basically, it sounds like it's probably going to end up happening. And so in 3 days, the strike will begin, which really isn't very good for Mando when you get down to the fact that
no, it's not.
When I met with really the volume shooting, if I was the only person reporting on Mandalorian with what they've done at the volume, I probably wouldn't say they started filming yet. Like it's so minuscule, yeah. And so
Filoni doing shadow puppets in the volume.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a Minoc.
It's like
it's hand all the way up there.
I don't want to overstate it. I don't want to say it wrong. But it's just test. Like that's not what I mean to do, because that's stupid. But it is really inconsequential materials and very small things, and yeah, the real filming, just like always. Like I've said like 1,000 times, and nobody will listen to me because they want what they want. It starts in late October. Every fucking time. Okay? This is like the 4th time now that this has happened. And it's always when it really starts going. So if anybody is asking if the strike really gets brutal, really doesn't end, will we at least be able to get one episode? I don't think so. I don't think they've filmed anything, And so what did Meg ask? Meg said, okay, so will the strike affect filming and eventual release? We could get Mando a year later if that's the case, which is fine. I stand with the workers. Yeah. So that's the thing, is how it's worked every single time is late October, filming really picks up. That's where it really begins. And they film all the way up until Christmas. They take a short Christmas break usually. I think every time. They come back right after Christmas. Then they take another break for New Year's. And then it's usually a little bit slow. And then it picks back up in January. Goes pretty hard until about March. And then it's done. And then it starts coming out in October.
And there's there's no sense of urgency from like Disney or anything like that about wanting to get the strike out of the way or keep it from happening, period.
I haven't heard anything on the Disney side. The majority of, for what it's worth, and not to not to wash anybody's hands and say somebody's innocent in a system where they're all profiting off of these laborers. It's mostly the Netflix and the Amazons that are the real issue, because what happened, from the sounds of things, is you had a very different TV environment in the 80s. They kind of had really unfair rules even then, but when they were filming, The Flash on ABC, it was a very, very much like, here's your show. You work on this show, and then we're going to work your ass off, but then you're going to have some downtime, but you're going to make, money. And so when they would bend the rules, it was like, okay, it was for a very temporary kind of thing. But now there's no seasons anymore. The concept of seasons is completely out the fucking window. And so you have people that are just nonstop, not being able to eat all day, not being able to take pee-pees, poo-poos, cacas, and whatever they have to do. And they are, and it's just and it's just like massively, and it's a crazy environment, and it's not the kind of environment or the kind of working conditions that you would put most people in any kind of job.
No, I mean,
and
it's just like it's amazing because like our union, like we never hear about if people want to strike. I mean, they, even if there's like a whisper of that kind of thing, like that, they will hash out the contract between us and the company that hires us, PMA, and they, because shit needs to come off the boats and get onto the boats. They can't afford to have even a day of us even thinking about being on a strike.
Right.
Here's the problem, though, Jesse. The difference is Netflix and Amazon, maybe to a lesser extent Hulu, but those two, they don't care if they make new content.
No, I get it. No,
they don't need to make anything new, and Amazon doesn't even make any video at all. If they're like, Lord of the Rings is delayed for 4 years, what does he care? And Netflix will just be like, well, we just put out comedy specials on and have Chappelle put up a fucking iPhone.
You know what I think like, they'll probably do is they'll probably go international, start buying up people like Squid Game. Let's go buy a bunch of Korean dramas and dub them for serious this time.
Yeah,
and that's probably what they're thinking.
And then you have like my wife's union for the nurses, and they're just repped by a guy who doesn't even understand what he's doing. He's never even been in that kind of a position. He's never really been a nurse.
Yeah.
And he just, he was the guy that didn't speak up for them when Newsom and the hospital handed garbage bags out for them to use.
Right.
For PPE. So it's just, I find it really, really interesting that they want to let it go there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't with the on the strike side, in terms of who is repping the workers, the laborers, I have no idea who they are or what they're
well, whoever it is good. I mean, that's they're getting their point made, and
they have 98%. Yeah, and 98% of them said, yeah, let's do this. And so I think that is the important part of it all.
And that's very telling that, hey, there's things that need to change and they need to be addressed.
Yeah. I kind of think when you really get down to it, like, I don't know how, like, for instance, how Disney plays into this. What kind of power does Disney have to force one thing or the other? But I do think Disney cares more than the other streaming services, because they're sacrificing a lot based off of like new content. The fact that you really can't put movies out in theaters so much, but they're like willing to take hits and stuff like that to grow the service, and they want to root Disney Plus in deep. And like right now they're like, hey, we're gonna entrench now and take this. Oh, they want to be everything. They want to be Netflix.
Maybe this is something that behind the scenes, the heads of Netflix and Amazon are like, hey, this is a way to take Disney down a notch too. Like, I'm not trying to paint Disney as the fucking hero here. Like, don't.
No, they're not really anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But if you do think you can cause a thorn in the side of your competition,
why not?
You know what I mean? And maybe force some other people to accept less on the bargaining table than, you could see in the world of cutthroat swimming with the sharks, like, CEOs here. I could see them just being like, eh.
Yeah, and if I understand the like actual dispute correctly, like the way that it was bargained in the 80s, it's like if they don't give you lunch that day, it's like they basically are giving you a couple of quarters. It's like, oh, here's your here's 75 cents or something. It's something ridiculous.
Ticket instead of cash. Yeah.
It's a ridiculous, like, it's so paltry. It's almost an insult. No one would take that
insult.
Yeah, over missing lunch. I mean, or whatever, and so and like I said, in the past though, here is where I think it could affect Mandalorian, or how it could affect Mandalorian. And I think it's really kind of crazy in a couple of ways. The first way is Mandalorian was already supposed to have filmed, but there was sort of a log jam in productions with Kenobi and everything else going on, and the delays in getting things started because of the pandemic and other things, but I was told that there was additional revisions to this third season of Mandalorian going on, which was probably for the best because they had much more time and they had like finished scripts that were polished, that had extra polish applied to them over time. So I was like, wow, Mando season 3 is probably going to be a better written story than what we've had in theory anyway. So you have that. But what I think is going to happen is, see, when it comes to Mandalorian, the reason why they start filming in October and it comes out in October, and it's still being finished as it comes out a lot of the time. But the reason why that happens is because the visual effects are mostly done for the volume work early on. And when it comes to like huge visual effects sequences, they're really just filming the live action elements to drop into what they've already animated. Like there's a good chance at this moment, the first episode, let's just pretend it's visual effects heavy. There's probably pretty much an animatic cut of it already put together, and they're just filming the elements to drop in. So what that could mean is if depending on how the strike goes, what the time is, they may have to film at breakneck pace just to get the live action elements in, which could mean, I hate to say it, but traditional Star Wars acting may return. You know what I mean?
I don't think that acting occurred because of a breakneck pace. That came from obviously direction on set and a blanket, like living in a volume of green or blue, depending on what movie they were on. You know,
yeah.
Like it is oppressive. You ever walk into a room with a single color? It's oppressive. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what that color is. If it's black, it's oppressive. If it's white, if it's blue, it's something about it. And I remember
white people at Taco Bell.
Beige.
Yeah, like if you ever walked into a Cheesecake Factory on a Thursday, it is oppressive. Like
I love the orange chicken here. It's authentic.
Yeah, it's great that you could buy orange chicken, tacos, and cheesecake all on the same menu.
Fucking globalist! I hate the globalist.
Certainly, they must be good at everything. That's why they're serving it. So,
and the lizard people. It's the lizard people at Cheesecake Factory, you guys. But go on.
When I was in college, they set up a green room once for filming just to kind of show us. And I remember walking into it, I was like, oh, I have a lot more. Fuck my eyes. Because they have to be lit, you know, because no shadows or very minimal shadows. So I'm very sensitive to bright lights, like a gremlin. And
yeah.
So I'm like, this is going to be a problem, guys. I'm like watering. I'm like, how did they do this? Bad. Yeah, how did they do? And I feel this is when I had even more sympathy for the prequel crew, because I was like, no one prepared them. Who was prepared for that? Like,
yeah,
even after the Phantom Menace, you think Ewan and them were prepared for that level of like, here's the fucking blue, bitch. You know? Like,
yeah, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yeah, exactly. It's that, and that's what is awesome about the volume. In essence, like we saw what's his name talking about yesterday. Kitster was talking about on yesterday's show that things looked real to them in the moment. So it was like working on a stage, and with that, it helps performances. But one of the things about the traditional Star Wars acting though is it was always behind schedule, and a lot of times they didn't do many takes. There wasn't a lot of coverage. And good enough. Yeah. Faster. George Lucas was there. Just if you got it, you got faster. It. You moved on.
Faster.
Okay.
Now, in no way do I feel like a Jon Favreau production's ever going to feel like a Star Wars documentary vibe. Like I don't know if he would ever get that. I don't think that's in his DNA. He's such a digital.
I can do it, John. Put me in charge. George taught me how to do all this stuff.
And Dave Filoni Jr. is very talented.
Yeah, I'll kill them deadlines. You'll see.
Kathleen Kennedy says, I'm grown as a director.
I'm going to run this production like Chinese finger cuffs.
Oh, man.
What did Krub say? C.O. Bibble makes his pussy dribble?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Bibbleopolis, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say they, because, C.O. Bibble can make your pussy dribble for pretty much any gender.
It's that goatee, dude.
That's a Weezer song.
Yeah, right.
See your baby can make your
dribble. Yeah. Then you get Matt Sharp back, so they're good again. You do those little high falsettos. Dribbles. I can't do it right now. I'm on the cusp of being sick. I have the kid. I have the kid disease, as I like to call it, just to get you sick every time they get sick.
The school cold.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah. So, but they are getting it done. I mean, they are filming live action elements for Mandalorian now, and that is, I mean, it's encouraging, and hopefully the strike doesn't really happen. Will they do some scab shit? Can they? I don't even know.
I think your mark on that, they'll just go international and put up a bunch of things is really the answer for content. Yeah. Plus, they've been sitting on Stranger Things season 4 for like 8 years. So.
No, but what I'm asking is like they are an international, but I mean, when it see like the problem, I think the reason why I think that, as somebody who doesn't know anything about their position, I probably shouldn't say why it is, but I'm guessing that when it comes to entertainment and art, so many people are thirsty. Everybody believes that they are the greatest artist. They, in their hometown or wherever they're from, they believe that they were like the one who was meant to just, and then they get out to LA and realize, oh wow, there's 75,000 people just like me, identical with my talent. Oh, I'm gonna have to actually work really hard here. But it ends up being like, okay, I'm gonna have to, take it in the Kizzler on this one, so to speak. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, the problem.
My buddy shoots for Netflix, and he's out right now on something, so I haven't been able to talk to him. But as soon as he gets done, I'm not gonna out him, right? Because I don't want to get him in trouble. But I'll get his take on what he thinks, because he's the below the line crew that makes everything fucking happen, and they film like, it's just crazy when there's even something called above and below the line. It's just such bullshit.
But is there somebody right now going and finding people that aren't in the union who could do these jobs?
And that's what I want to know. Like, he'll tell me, because he also rents camera equipment and stuff. You know what I mean? That's like when there was like downtime in shoots, he'd make money by renting equipment out to people who need to do shoots, So it's like, that's kind of how you have to survive in LA. And
that's what I think is going on with Willow, with that red frog stuff, by the way. But go on.
What?
Willow, one of the some of the production boxes that I saw and stuff like that, it said Red Frog.
Okay.
And but the production code name was Trapper Keeper. And I was like, okay, did they change it? Is it that? And as I dug, I started to find a company called Red Frog that's been in the UK or in Wales since about 2010, I think, I want to say, probably. And so I think that they just started renting up all of the production equipment in Wales for Willow, hence Red Frog.
Right, so that's the company providing the equipment, which is
that's what I think is that
person I know that does the Below Deck. They just got hired to do I don't know, one of those ghost hunting shows.
Yeah,
but they never leave Santa Clarita. So
is the ghost of Gary Kurtz in the room? Do you know why I don't have this mustache, but I have a beard? Can you guess? When I made
Star Wars, I told George he needs to do it my way. I listened to some Kurtz interview, and I'm like, he doesn't have any particular voice. It's a shame. So now you got to default to a stereotype, and I'm going with the beard.
Well, did I send you the audio of the Kurtz thing that I recorded for that thing that I work on? Oh God, my Kurtz voice is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
But you gotta practice it a bit. You can't just
it's recorded. I just have to make. I just have to make it. I just have to put it together. But yeah, it's. I think it's good. But
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a Kurtz. We got a Kurtz coming. Kurtz so good. So that's what I like to call him. But yeah.
So good.
Yeah, and but I will also say, if they were to do that, if scabbery was to become afoot, then we are going to end up with the biggest spoiler season of our generation, ladies and gentlemen, of every show of all time.
No loyalty amongst the scabs for spoilers, bro.
No. At that point, well, The scabs will be leaking because they don't give a fuck. They're gone. They're like, hey, thanks for the money. We're scabs. We don't give a shit. And then the people who work actually on the crew are going to be like, fuck them. Yeah. So here's what happened
out there. Like, got your drops, your scoops.
Yeah.
$500 for scoops.
Yeah. What if Jabba the Hutt is like a lizard and when he died, like his tail came off, but then he grew out of his tail and he's back? Just going to say that could happen. Has anybody ever considered that before? Jabba could have grown back.
Jabba?
Trandoshan style?
Well, yeah. I mean, there, it would make sense.
Look, you're opening up the doorway to something the 80s started where they made babies out of everything. And let's just not do it.
Like Baby Yoda?
And remember, it was baby Care Bears, baby Scooby-Doo. Everything had a baby.
And Bruce Willis became a baby.
Bruce Willis became, John Travolta became. Well, no, he didn't. But, yeah.
Do you ever hear Quentin Tarantino go off about Look Who's Talking?
Yes,
he wrote some of that, didn't he?
That's like you could tell he was like legitimately angry. How's it going, Mr. Hamilton? Mr. Hamilton says the elves will be emboldened and inspired by the IATSE. Santa is quaking in his boots.
He laughed earlier. I don't know if he's quaking. He said it was never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean the sad part about trying to unionize in Santa's cult is that he just kills you and remakes you with his magic. Santa magic.
When I came here, I was 5 feet tall. Now I'm only 3.
Yeah.
The late great Dudley Moore gave me all the magical powers.
I'm gonna say
candy cane electricity comes from his fingers.
Dudley Moore is a better Santa Claus than Tim Allen or whatever.
Dudley Moore's a better everything than Tim Allen. Like, just
he's put a drink in his hand.
Yeah.
He's just like, Merry Christmas.
Better drunk. Like, whatever. Like,
I mean, he was so drunk he banged Liza Minnelli. That's crazy.
He better starship captain than in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, just not a fan. It's not a fan.
Anybody could have replaced Tim Allen in that role, and it would have been a better movie.
Probably. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, take Tim Allen out of anything, even Buzz Lightyear. You could have got Patrick Warburton. It would have been and Patrick Warburton was Buzz Lightyear in a fucking cartoon. He was better than Tim Allen.
Yeah. What was that movie called? The Star Trek one that he did again?
Galaxy Quest.
Quest. I ran into Michael Stipe from REM, and I had a Star Wars shirt on. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? I was like really excited to meet him. And all he talked about was Galaxy Quest. And I had like kind of only half-assed watched it at that point. And I was like, so that was my one conversation with Michael Stipe was about Galaxy Quest.
Could you imagine if John Goodman had played that role as an overweight, out of work Kirk? It would have been a better movie.
Oh man, King Ralph in space, bro.
King Ralph in space.
It would have been a better movie. Like a guy who used to be, and then they did the digital, so they shrink him down, so he's all muscular in the '60s, but now he's John Goodman. Or
if John Candy had lived long enough, that would have been a great role.
So like anybody, Tim Allen can be replaced by anybody, and it would be a better movie. He brings nothing to the table. So, sorry.
Yeah. What if they had just cast John Goodman as Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy? Luke, you know, he had to eat the fear away, you know, a little bit. I get it.
Really afraid of him.
Oh man, yeah. There's like so many ridiculous people that you could cast in Star Wars, and I really wouldn't be mad if they did, especially after Woody Harrelson.
Weird Al Yankovic in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't had a cameo. And the thing about Weird Al too is like when you get rid of the, like, I don't know, the Jerry curl, whatever kind of hair,
dude, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like when even when you see him in like the what's it called, the Saga Begins video, and he's like doesn't have his hair, he has the Star Wars hair. Yeah, like it looks like somebody else. Like that hair it's like Brian May from Queen. You take away that big old fro from him, and you're like, who's that guy? That's never happened. But if you did,
I'm just a guitar player.
I like him though now because he doesn't dye it anymore. He's like, I'm not gonna dye this thing black. Gray, so he looks like a fucking rock and roll George Washington wherever he goes. It's like Marie Antoinette is playing guitar or something. It's fucking nuts. Yeah.
I really wish they'd put him in a Star Wars show, even if just a Mando cameo or something. You know?
Mm-hmm.
He can act.
Yeah.
Look, UHF. Everyone's doing a great job in that film. It's a corny little movie for folks. I'm not saying it's a cinematic treasure, but it's super
great.
fucking good. Yeah.
UHF, man.
Yeah.
Today we're going to teach turtles how to fly. Like, no. Or poodles. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. No, I think I'm not a big fan of like the reboot concept and all that kind of shit for the most part. I'm kind of pretty much over it. But if they were to take UHF and turn that into a Netflix series, and it was just the movie that went on for a long time with the skits that you can do of the shows that I'd be all about it.
Yeah, the actual shows that they broadcast. Yeah.
Here's a premise for a modern UHF: is a bunch of guys who couldn't make it online get their own TV station and just put all their shitty YouTube content on a TV station.
Right.
Right? And then like it's all this fucking crazy Logan Paul fucking shit.
A storm comes. The internet broadband goes down. People have to watch TV again.
Oh.
But then the YouTube guys, the crazy YouTuber, like the Logan, you got to get a good Logan Paul villain. You make those YouTube guys go, they're fucking taking away our fucking attention. So they fucking try to sabotage the UHF station and shit. And it's kind of like also, in a way, a Revenge of the Nerds remake, right?
Yeah. I feel like I have a lambda sweater on today.
Yeah. And you just have Weird Al, like, yeah, you want him involved in the whole project, but on screen, you could just have him be like the Obi-Wan character who's like showing him, here's how you do TV. You know?
Oh, I would just have him just be the same dude. Who gives a shit?
He's just trying to make it on YouTube and can't do it.
Yeah, he doesn't get the Twitter and what's that other one? The little videos that I don't get.
TikTok.
He doesn't get the TikTok. He knows it's all the Chinese game to spy on us and take our 5G and make us magnetic. He knows.
He's got that tinfoil hat.
George Wong can play that villain. His final role, right?
George Wang.
So
everyone's like, "Where's the news?"
Yeah, there has been interesting stuff going on with Indiana Jones, by the way. And Jack Gambro saw Indiana Jones filming with Roman soldiers, and there has been things that look like that. I have not been completely on board with it being what it seems like, but it probably is. Gladiator,
Stonehenge.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull it up right now. Yeah, when they are showing things with or what's coming out with Indiana Jones and what we are seeing, I'm like, what if it is not as it seems? But
it's like Outlander. He goes through a stone.
But yeah, this is so. But I'm here. I'm gonna actually I'll put it on the computer machine.
I heard a ad for a podcast, and the guy was like, "Oh, we're gonna grab some particles and go back in time in our DeLorean." And I was like, "Huh? Particles?" And then I realized that he was referring to the Pym particles from Avengers.
Oh, right.
And mixing it up.
Is that
Back to the Future?
Have Nim particles entered the lexicon yet? I feel like they still haven't. You know?
No, I don't.
I don't even know what they are.
Yeah, I feel like
from the Secret in Nim.
See, unstable molecules from the Fantastic Four, I can never let go. I still think it's one of the greatest get away with anything inventions, and
just like their suits, man. It's like, well, they stretch with them.
Yeah, that's unstable molecules. You know, like how did Venom get made? How did the stealth Spider-Man suit unstable molecules?
Unchained molecules, except for the big guy made of rock.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna pull up some Indiana Jones photos right now from Indiana Jones 5 News on Twitter that I like, and there's a good shot of Phoebe Waller-Bridge looking very heroic, by the way, too. Let me get these in here if I can.
Pulls out the sword from the stone.
Pretty much. Okay, so we'll start with the craziest shit ever first, right? Crazy shit first. That's our motto. And the girls I'm into, share screen. All right, Chrome tab. Here we go. All right, here we go. Boom. Oh yeah, it opens it up, but it doesn't put it on the screen. Good work, Melon. All right, here we go. So look at these guys. Heave, ho, heave, ho.
And that's more like a longboat that you would see from. Looks like one of the longboats you get in Valhalla.
So
this is basically gonna be the original opening to Atlantis, right? Where these Vikings are like trying to search for the Atlantean object and get destroyed, and it's lost in the seas.
Oh wait, that did not work. Hold on 1 second.
Really don't have to be Roman guys, honestly.
Oh well, just wait a second. Here we go. All right, boom.
Well then,
look at these dudes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the pikes and shields that you
know. Look at Homeboy's little sword and shield
that's
here.
Jesus killing sword right there.
Jesse, you ever seen Gladiator movies?
Yes.
Sorry.
Gladiator here at home.
You ever seen a grown man naked? Okay.
That dude with the big hair, man. Dude's got an amazing mane.
And then we got this bad boy.
Oh wow.
And right here we see, boom. Look at these guys.
Elite Romans with the round shields. Oh, actually no, those aren't going to be Romans. Those are maybe I don't know. What is it? Carthage?
I don't know. It looks like a sexy party to me, though.
Vigo, the Carpathian.
Right? Yeah, right. look at this guy on the left. He's like, hey. He's like, anybody drink Coors?
Those helmets that I saw in Gladiator for sure is that black one there.
Are you guys going to judge me if I drink Coors here at this party?
Victorian Guard. You think this is either it's time travel or this is like that opening flashback thing, right?
Yeah, there's a lot more that have come out since I started my original talk, and yeah, I mean it could, but it would be weird to have Indiana Jones not partake in the opening.
Or is it maybe like a flashback for whatever MacGuffin or the item that they're going after?
They've never broken that convention though. They've never, and with the what's it called? Was it Die Glock machine and shit? Are we doing time travel? Are we at time travel? That's
what I'm wondering. Like, because if they break it, then it's basically the opening to National Treasure. Hey, smuggle it out of, love that opening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
mean,
mean,
just like either I don't think those would be the barbarians. It's just probably another.
Well, I believe that the Roman Empire was really fucked with by barbarians pretty hard. So we could be seeing Roman soldiers versus barbarians in these shots.
Yeah.
So
the
Germans actually is kind of a Hun helmet, honestly.
So, and then we got. Looks like it's old Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and she has her own little Indiana.
The Indy hat. They're replacing Indy with a woman. No,
it's official. Indiana Jones has tits and ass now, guys. It's over. Fucking Kathleen Kennedy.
How long does it take her to lace up those boots?
I don't know.
Hey, Jason, can we increase Jesse's volume? I really can't hear him.
Sorry, I mean, what does it take to? How long does it take?
Okay, hold on. Dun, 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 dun. All right.
DMC.
All right. All right. So right here we have Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and she is pooping. Okay. That's what happens.
I hope she wipes.
There you go.
No, you don't wipe it. You don't wipe on an adventure. And then we got Indiana Jones. And it looks like he has a little parachute on. He's like, "Oh, I'm bad at flying airplanes. I better wear this all the time, just to be safe."
When he pulls the chute, is it just a big fedora?
Oh, wait for the Fortnite skin. It'll definitely go that way.
He's got his own Indiana. He's like his James Bond merch. Like he saw James Bond in the '60s, and he's like, I need my own. My dad was my dad. Forgot his dad played James Bond.
Right now, somebody is writing the program for that for Fortnite.
Oh, I've wanted them to take Jonesy from Fortnite and make Indiana Jonesy. Just put Jonesy in the fedora and the jacket.
That makes no sense.
I'll buy it today. You don't need a license, for Indiana Jones.
My son, he doesn't know who Indiana Jones is. He hasn't watched the movies.
Yeah. We need to get him on that. It takes a village. It takes a village, and I want to be the Sankara stone that brings you and your son together of the love of Indiana Jones.
Together we the rock and take us together.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Jesse. Don't
do it, Jesse. Accents are hilarious. And then here's where he gets a massage.
I'm paying homage to that guy, man. Okay.
He is a fantastic villain. I mean, that guy's a fantastic good guy, but the villain in Temple of Doom is fantastic.
Yeah.
I do feel like this whenever I'm with somebody and we're like not really that acquainted, and then they pull the won't you give me a massage move, and I'm like, I'm not really comfortable touching you yet, and that's
claws on my back like Marsha.
That's how he really hurt his shoulder.
Right
I
here,
have to split this adventure up 50-50.
She's got man hands.
She manhandled him with those claws.
You got mutt hands.
What if Harrison Ford's been dead since the accident? They're just weekend at Bernie's this whole fucking thing.
Weekend at any indies where they just carry him around adventures and shit. Like, there's a YouTube video waiting to be made.
Oh shit! Yeah.
No.
Yes.
So basically, they've jumped out of a plane. Is what we basically can see here at this point, right?
No raft this time. An actual parachute. It appears. I don't think we've ever seen Indy with a parachute.
Yeah, usually he goes for the more hard
the crash.
to do.
Yeah.
They ran out of. He had to jump out with the banana boat.
Can't they just be serious for once, Indy?
Yeah. So I guess like the other large question to ask: how does this time travel stuff going to work here? Are they going to actually straight up fucking time travel? Or is it going to be like a device and you turn it on and maybe you saw what happened?
Or it
in
could
those
be like
places,
that new show, La Brea, where this earth falls out from underneath everybody, and then apparently they fell into some kind of wormhole thing, and it took them back to 10,000 BC.
Yeah, I saw the ads for it, and I looked at it, and it's either the most terrible show of all time or really fun.
It has the potential to be a really great show, but it is terribly acted and terribly casted.
Okay. Yeah.
In a less creative universe, he gets the arc, and then before all the evil demons come out in that hole, you just jump in the hole and you go back in time.
Right.
Like, and we see like the Bill and Ted's where the arc's going through the tubes and shit, and spits them out. It arrives upside down and just drops them out.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm obviously open to seeing what's what. Like, what are you guys doing with it? And what I know of Mangold, I don't expect him to make a really. I don't expect Mangold to start making Bill and Ted when he means to make an Indiana Jones movie. But when I do see Roman soldiers, I do get Bill and Ted vibes right away. Like that's where my head goes, and
it can have a good finale name though, like Indiana Jones and the End of Time, or you know what I mean. Like when you deal with time, you can come up with a name that feels.
He ended Logan pretty good. I mean, that was a good finale end run for that character, I thought.
How about this one, Indiana Jones and the Time Bandits that are tall?
Ooh,
no, okay. Indiana Jones and the Tall Time Bandits, but yeah. Which, by the way, if any of you youngins watching the show have never seen Time Bandits, you should definitely watch Time Bandits. It's pretty badass.
For the Titanic alone, my friend.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Indy Barinhausen.
Yeah.
Indy Barinhausen. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching Baron Munchausen as like a 9-year-old and being like, wow, that girl is so hot. She's going to be the biggest movie star of all time. And it kind of went true. But yeah. It was Uma Thurman, I think.
Yeah,
but
yeah, oh, yeah, she was in that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, good times. But yeah. So Indiana Jones, Rick Jones is throwing out Pillagers of Time, and if we want to be like an Ain't It Cool News talk back or whatever, any comment section, they'll be like in the old person thing of a thing, like the formula. I get every time I do an Indiana Jones story on Twitter. Pretty much every time, I'd say, almost feels like, anyways. But and Craig, sorry, not Greg, Craig, he likes our UHF idea. Yeah, see, it needs to happen
because it's great.
Because I mean, it was a great movie, a great concept.
You want to be a scab, guys?
Yeah,
we can rake up. We can rake in
a new iPhone soon. It's a Pro, so hey,
it's either this or I'm selling NFTs. Like you pick it.
That's what my wife wants to do. She wants my son to start like drawing a bunch of stuff. It's like, we're gonna sell it for NFTs.
Yeah, we'll just wreck the whole planet. Fuck it.
Sell his art.
Yeah.
You can't make art without breaking a few eggs. Thanks.
How long do you think until Star Wars and Indiana Jones start selling NFTs?
I'm surprised they haven't done it yet, honestly.
Yeah, because I really try to get my head around it. It's like, you own a JPEG that you don't really own, but that one is yours.
It's the power consumption I can't get past, folks.
Yeah.
One NFT transaction is about a monthly household worth of fucking electricity, Plus all the computers that they burn through doing this shit, like I can't.
They said we just took over China as the leading country for bit mining.
It's why I can't have a green screen. You think this isn't affecting us, you guys?
They took all the
at every level of society.
Every level of society is crumbling.
I tried to do a pink screen and it just blogged me out too. Like,
it made me look horrible. I looked fat.
Cascadian 101 says Disney won't pass up on that sweet NFT revenue stream. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's coming, but
yeah, it's coming. You're gonna go to the park, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, here's our little area of NFTs that you could possibly purchase if you want to." It's gonna be right next to the build your own lightsabers.
Right. Yeah. Here's we're taking every frame of Star Wars, of every movie ever, and you can just buy one frame of it.
Pretty much.
And then here's your NFT, but you don't actually own anything related to it, and you can't do whatever you want with it.
Here's your sticker that says you own this shit. Wow.
Yeah. But all right. So really quickly though, just as before, because like I said, I saw the Roman soldier picture earlier, and then all of a sudden there was like other stuff of like, there was other stuff of like Italy and shit like that. Yeah. So it looks like that's pretty much all that's broke. Another good picture of Indy, but
last time I was in Italy, there were rats,
Big ones.
Yeah.
Big ones.
Yeah. So this movie is going in a direction I did not expect.
If they miss the opportunity to put Indy on a Vespa, I'm going to be really let down.
They put him in little cars, so I'm already it's already made it work for me. Little car. What are those cars? Little cars called?
Coopers.
They're pretty much little Mini Coopers almost. Yeah.
Little Fiats and there's a couple other ones.
Yeah, Fiats. I think that's what it was. I think that's what we said. I don't know shit about cars. I just know that if they were little adorable cars, and my personal theories is if we all had them, there would be no traffic on the freeway.
Oh, you know what Prius stands for then?
What's that?
Pretentiously riding and ultra slow.
Yeah, that's me. I actually drive pretty fast. I'm kind of an idiot.
I think we should all be given Geo Metros, so you don't want my
Geo Metro
Storm, man, not a Metro, I want a Storm. Or Geo Tracker.
I dated this really annoying girl in my early 20s, and she had this like little tiny red car, and on it had a sticker and it said "Bitch Mobile," and I was super drunk looking at it, and I'm just like, this fucking bitch. And I slowly pulled the fucking bee off, And for weeks, without her noticing, she drove around in a car that said Itchmobile. Which I thought was hilarious.
Make a cream for that.
Right.
All your moves are like Fresh Prince Banana and a tailpipe moves. You know?
Thank you. I consider myself the white Axel Foley. That's just where I'm at with my life. Right. It says CGI Sean Connery will return as the Force goes to pass on the mantle. Yeah, man, I was always kind of bummed that they didn't get Connery back for 4, but if they had it, would have just slowed it down. And what they did with Marion made me like, well, maybe it was for the best.
Yeah,
you know,
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah,
but
you're bumming me out, Wards.
Yeah. I'm. Yeah, no, and then I keep wondering what Phoebe's role is in all of this. Is she a scientist? Is she a reporter? People said she was a reporter early on, but I'm not buying into that so much at the moment. I'm not
Sora the Explorer.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if she's just is Indy meeting another archaeologist, and
she's Marcia Scott.
Marcia Scott. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. And her mom took her around the world and she learned about archaeology and stealing shit,
some people saying that she was Marcus Brody's daughter.
That was a thing, and I think Campia said that. I'm not debunking at all. I asked, and the person who would usually tell me when something was right did not tell me it was wrong or right.
Or she could be what's her name's daughter.
That usually something's wrong, I'll get a bullshit, or something, or something's right, I'll get like, yeah. But on that one, I didn't
think if Marcus had a daughter, that would have been brought up at some point, especially in the third film. Like if that, I know they can add it later, guys. I get it. I'm just saying, like, in the heads.
But I think like if guys like Marcus Brody in that time frame, like having kids is like expected, I think. So
he says in that film, because I just rewatched it, he says, I watched both of you grow up.
Yeah.
Implying Indy and his father, I watched you both grow up. And it's like my kid, like, I don't know, like it just, you would think that would have. So if it were like a niece or something, I get it, but if it was his direct daughter, then it would be like.
She should be around as old as Indy, with around the time that people were expected to procreate.
Not his daughter, but Charlie's daughter.
And Denholm Elliott is a gay man. He died of AIDS, unfortunately. But I was like, if you're gonna make anybody an Indy gay,
wasn't gay, but he died of AIDS because he got a blood transfusion.
I believe he was a gay man.
Then he got the HIV from a blood transfusion.
Yeah, or that was just a story that they made so people didn't use sodomy to, you know what I mean, though, right. To like judge him. I mean, that was the whole thing about blood transfusions being such a big thing was, they weren't butt fucking. Like that was what it was. It's ridiculous.
I hear you. I'm going with the official story until Coast to Coast AM debunks it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, Zeta Reticuli, did they give it to us? Because they were playing with their butts a lot in the 80s. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but Marcus could have had a sister and she could have had a daughter, and it just wouldn't have, who had a daughter or whatever. Like if she was a Brody, then fine. If it's a new character, it's fine.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, right? It's not like it's going to bring Marcus Brody magic to the movie. If she's
wasn't his museum that like a family thing that was through his family, the museum?
As far as I know, he was the director, and you know what I mean. And then he comes up with Henry Sr., and they are like schoolmates and stuff like that. And so when he says he watches him grow up, it's because they grew up together, and then he watches Indy grow up, and so it's I think it's still pretty open. And then when we see the statue, it's just like the kind of statue that they put on a campus. When I was at USC, they had all those kind of heads out everywhere. My favorite thing was to get behind him and do the 2 fingers and take a picture, and then like a giant head just giving the fingers. That was the best. That's what I would have done with the Marcus Brody statue if I went there.
All right, new theory. It's
campus pranks.
It's Short Round's widow.
Short Round's widow.
I wish they did bring Short Round back. You know?
Short Round became a beat, and he OD'd on heroin.
He was supposed to be in that game, right? The one LucasArts was making.
I don't know.
It was set in San
was
Francisco in the 50s, yeah. And I remember in
Chinatown was a big part of it. I don't know if they brought in Short Round officially.
Yeah, they talked about it was in a Next Generation magazine. They did a whole expose on that before it got canceled because it was about the physics that they were using in the game, all the physics and stuff. And they were like, "We're bringing back Short Round." I'm like, "What? You know, like that's dope." And then game canceled.
Yeah, it was using the same physics as the canceled Star Wars game that became a Boba Fett game at one point on Coruscant. And supposedly it had really awesome rocket pack mechanics that they had invented for Boba Fett's rocket pack. And that never, ever happened. All right, Jesse, putting you downtown Chinatown until you come back. Rick Jones says Nazis with flying saucers and time machines try to go back so that the Nazis win World War II. Just a guess. Ooh, that would be interesting. You know, there was a thing I feel is probably irrelevant by now, but I had a scoop, and in this Indiana Jones scoop was a lot of other information, all of which panned out. Every fucking thing from that meeting panned out, but one thing. And that's that Indiana Jones, this new movie, was opening up with a Nazi gold train. And it's a real gold train, and it was supposed to have gone missing right at the end of World War II. And there was all kinds of rumors that it was hidden, diverted here and hidden in this cave and all this kind of stuff, and that the gold was just all somewhere. And I put that story out. John Kasdan tweeted out something like, "Love making Star Wars, but that was never in my script." And then looking back on it, I started to think, what if my scoop transcended his script and was the next script, was the ones that came after that I was actually getting stuff from? And is it this one?
When they say my script, that's very... It's not. We never did that. It's not.
I think. Yeah, I think.
In the film.
I think that's what his wording was. I don't want to put too much on that in case I'm saying it wrong. But I believe we said that wasn't in my script or something like that.
All right.
And but then one of the first things we see is this Nazi train and stuff. But I kind of don't think it applies because we know Indy chases the train on a horse, and there's Nazis on motorcycles riding beside it and stuff. So unless all of the Nazis have been hiding out in a secret base, covering their gold until 1969, which I guess is possible in an Indiana Jones, James Bond universe, that you would have that kind of shit going on.
This is pretty good, actually.
Oh, nice.
Well, the original,
those are good.
Yeah, I wish they'd print things on pulp again.
It says Stan Lee presents fireworks.
Oh, is that the Arista's alien on the first page there?
Yeah,
I love that. Show him. I love that guy. He's a little freak. Look at him. He was so creepy. He scared the shit out of me.
But
we don't want to pay for ET, so we made our own.
Remember our talk about BMXs and Huffies.
Whoa, nice. Those nice pants, dude.
Very Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Well, there's that line in Indy 3 when they go to the Germans go to the Sultan to try and get the ability to basically excavate in his country, and they go, "Here, we brought you jewels donated by all the families in Germany."
Yeah.
And you're like, donated.
Donated, yeah.
Okay.
Along with all their art.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Nice. Wow, look, there's a molar.
Was that movie with John Goodman, right? Where him and Clooney and those guys rescued the art from the Germans
the Three
in World
Kings,
War II?
was it? Was it Three
No,
Kings?
Not Three Kings. It was something else.
King Ralph?
It's only 5 years old.
King Ralph 2.
It was him, Clooney, Matt Damon, and a couple other big actors are in that movie. I can't remember the fucking name of this. But it's cool. Yeah. They go back and they get to steal all the art back from the Nazis.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Nazis. They got it coming. But I kind of think I kind of think that it all of this like train stuff is going to be the opening. And when we saw Indy, though, he had the marks on his face, so that is young Indiana Jones. Now, are they going to go full out Back to the Future Part 2? Are we going to see young Indy and old Indy? Old Indy looking at what young Indy was doing back then?
Possibly.
Is it going to have a crazy narrative like that where he can't necessarily remember? That would be kind of bad for an old guy to be like, I can't remember. But you know, in real life, you don't remember everything, and like, so you start to see what these historical events were. I'm curious because when I think of Indiana Jones, and when I think of like that, remember he's had that clock in his hand, that like gold clock, and the gold clock that he has in his hand is a retirement gift that was very common. Somebody like looked it up, and it was very common to give back then. And so Indy is probably retiring in this movie and gets the clock. But then we also see him with what's his name? Toby. What's his name? Little Toby Capote. The guy
yeah, from Zemo or what? Not Zemo. Yeah,
that guy.
The fucking Nazi computer dude.
Zola.
Toby Jones.
Arnim Zola.
Toby Jones.
Zola.
His name is Jones. Whatever. His name is Jones. Why am I so dumb? It's easiest. Toby Jones. Toby Jones also appears to have a little clock in his hand. And so I'm curious if they're going to do something where it's like in the opening, we have Toby Jones retiring like with the clock. And then we cut to Indy in the same, and then the adventure. Then we're going to cut to Indy getting his clock in the same kind of moment. Because, you know, like remember in Last Crusade, the hat goes down on the kid, comes up, and it's forward, like that kind of transition between times. But then those things become symbolic of the time travel adventure we're about to embark on. I think this kind of is making some sense as possible. So Meg is back. Meg staying up.
Meg.
Oh.
And Dell says, hello.
Dale.
And Meg says,
say, does she
hello.
type the accent or does she just type English?
Yeah. But yeah,
Dale,
well,
this house is a fucking prison.
Yeah. I am feeling a little under the weather, so I think we're going to call it a little bit shorter today because I don't feel so hot. Don't feel awful. Not, don't call the ambulance. But
sleep is the only way through, my friend.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am at. Like, I am going to have some soup and I am going to crash out for a while until I have to get the evilest one.
Oh, try one of those liquid IV things if you go to the store and grab a couple of packs of that. It's really good.
It's a Capri Sun. I just put a Capri Sun in my...
Literally, like...
Wait, you mean like just drink water?
Yeah, you mix it with water. But super hydrates.
There was a thing, I don't know if it's still there, but on the Vegas Strip, and it was like a giant bus, and it drives around and it gives you IVs if you want to get rid of your hangover and you want to just keep on partying. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. That was before that was before the pandemic. Well, I think that's going to make it a young person's game for the old people.
That's going to be back now because they're having some kind of whiskey expo, Scotch expo in Vegas on the 23rd.
Yeah, that's nuts. But yeah, all right, guys. Thanks to everyone for watching this show where we just freeballed it because that's how we do it sometimes. And
you don't want me standing up.
No, you don't want any of us. No.
Free balling.
Yeah, no, Smurf berries. Anyways,
look at the nayberries on that dude.
Huge.
Yeah. But
see, I made it. I tied it back in.
You did it.
I'm gonna go read Star Wars Ronin. I like out of canon stories. So
and then just tell us everything that happens. If you
will
remember.
do.
Yeah, because I wouldn't mind knowing. And and Jesse, I hope you get some. Are you trying to stay up the whole day to stay on like a regular schedule, or are you going to crash out too?
No, I'm going to crash out because there's not enough work for me to work tonight, so I'm not going to miss anything.
Yeah. All right, man. You get some rest. You read non-canon, made-up Star Wars books that aren't even true.
You know those Indiana Jones comics aren't canon. Don't count. Don't
It's
read
not. It's not true. It's not true.
It's not about spaceships.